damning report by the Environmental Justice Foundation, EJF, has unearthed compelling evidence implicating at least 12 Chinese fishing vessels in the exploitation of North Korean crews between 2019 and 2024. This revelation underscores a blatant disregard for stringent international sanctions imposed on United Nations member states concerning the utilization of North Korean labor. These sanctions, meticulously crafted and adopted by the UN Security Council, aim to significantly curtail Pyongyang's systematic program of exporting both labor and goods. The primary objective is to deprive the regime of crucial financial resources otherwise funneled into its controversial and destabilizing weapons programs. The North Korean individuals detailed within the EJF report were almost certainly dispatched to these vessels by their government, a regime notorious for its practice of exporting its own citizens as laborers. This exploitative practice represents merely one facet of a broader, deeply entrenched system of forced labor. The UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, OHCHR, has unequivocally characterized this system as deeply institutionalized within the confines of North Korea's closed and authoritarian state apparatus. The pervasive nature of this forced labor, woven into the fabric of the North Korean economy, highlights the regime's callous disregard for the well-being of its own citizens. The scale of this human rights violation demands immediate and decisive action from the international community. The sanctions imposed against North Korean labor are comprehensive and far-reaching. They explicitly prohibit UN and EU member states from issuing work permits to North Korean nationals. Furthermore, they impose a complete ban on UN member states acquiring seafood originating from North Korea or its nationals, effectively choking off a significant revenue stream for the regime. The sanctions extend to a prohibition on nationals of UN member states procuring any such seafood products, leaving no loopholes for circumvention. A UN Security Council resolution, moreover, mandated the expulsion of all North Korean workers from all UN member states by 2019. Despite these robust sanctions and the clear mandate for expulsion, the exploitation of North Korean labor persists. China, unfortunately, remains a primary destination for North Korean workers dispatched abroad, serving as a crucial hub for this illicit trafficking of human beings. This underscores a critical failure in the enforcement of international sanctions and the need for increased transparency and accountability within the global fishing industry. The continued presence of North Korean workers on Chinese vessels raises serious questions about the effectiveness of existing mechanisms designed to protect vulnerable populations from exploitation. The EJF report emphasizes the urgent need for robust enforcement of existing international regulations and the adoption of further measures to curtail this human rights violation. Failure to take the necessary, low or no-cost steps to end this, as outlined by the Charter for Fisheries Transparency, from mandatory transmission of AIS signals to the elimination or close monitoring of transshipment, means turning a blind eye to extreme, avoidable suffering, the report emphatically states. This condemnation highlights the moral imperative for strengthened oversight and enforcement mechanisms, emphasizing that inaction equates to complicity in this egregious human rights abuse. Additional research conducted by Jason Su, Quan Lu further corroborates the findings of the EJF report, strengthening the case for immediate and decisive international action to address this persistent and deeply troubling issue. The international community must collectively shoulder the responsibility of dismantling this system of exploitation and holding those responsible accountable for their actions. The suffering of these North Korean workers demands nothing less.